In this video, we will solve 3 problems under the topic Present Economic Studies. For problem number 1, 2 super pumps capable of delivering 100 horsepower to an agricultural application are being considered for a project. The selected pump will only be utilized for within 1 year. Pertinent data are summarized as follows. For pump A, rental cost is 145,000 pesos per year. Maintenance cost is 8,500 pesos per year. Operating hours required is 2,400 hours. Operator required is 1 at 400 pesos per day. Laborer required is 2 at 250 pesos per day each. And the freight cost is 10,000 pesos. For pump B, rental cost is 310,000 pesos per year. Maintenance cost is 25,000 pesos per year. Operating hours required is 2,000 hours. Operator needed is 1 at 400 pesos per day. Laborer is needed 3 at 250 pesos per day each. And there is no freight cost. Pump A will come from a nearby province and 1 day is required for transporting the pump each way. Freight cost would total 10,000 pesos and the pump operator will be paid 400 pesos a day, including travel time of 2 days of the pump. If the pump A is used, 2 laborers will be required with rate of each man of 250 pesos per day, including travel time of pump. All workers must be paid on a full 8-hour day basis. For pump B, it is near the site and does not require freight cost to be paid. 3 laborers will be required with rate of each man of 250 pesos per day. All workers must be paid on a full 8-hour day basis. Recall that 1 horsepower is equal to 0.746 kilowatts. If electric power costs 1 pesos per kilowatt hour, letter A, how much is the total cost for pump A? Letter B, how much is the total cost for pump B? So in this problem, we see 2 alternatives, pump A and pump B, and we will solve for the total cost of each pump. So to solve for the cost for pump A, so we already have here the rental cost and the maintenance cost as fixed, being 145,000 pesos per year. And remember here that the selected pump will be utilized for within 1 year only. So this is already fixed costs, rental and maintenance costs. How about the operator and the labor costs? How do we solve it? We need to find the number of days that the pump will be operating. So how can we solve for the number of days? So to solve for the number of days, we have here 2,400 hours to utilize the operating hours required for the pump. So that is for pump A. So for pump A, we have 2,400 hours and the workers must be paid on a full 8-hour day basis. So this is 240 hours divided by 8 hours per day. So how many days? That is 300 days. So 300 days to use pump A. So what else? We need to solve for the power cost. So the power cost here is 1 pesos per kilowatt hour. So we need to solve for the power cost for pump A. So for power cost, what's the required number of horsepower? It says here that these two super pumps capable of delivering 100 horsepower. So we will put here 100 horsepower. And remember that 1 horsepower is 0.746 kilowatts or kilowatt in 1 horsepower. And the rate of the electric power here is 1 peso per kilowatt hour. So we can cancel out here horsepower and kilowatts. How about the hours? So the required hours for pump A is 2,400 hours. So we can now cancel here hours. So what's left? Power cost is now equal to 100 times 0.746 times 2,400. So that is 179,400 pesos for the power cost. Okay, so I think we have now the items. So we can now compute for the total cost for pump A. Rental cost here is fixed. So rental here is how much? 145,000 per year, and maintenance is 8,500. So rental is 145,000, while maintenance is equal to 8,500. For the operator, so for the labor cost here, for the operator, one operator for 400 pesos per day. And from the problem, says here that the operator will be paid 400 a day, including travel time of 2 days. So the pump will travel for 2 days. So 1 day is required for transporting the pump each way. So from the warehouse to the site, and then later on from the site to the warehouse. So that is 2 days travel time. Therefore, for the operator here, for the total number of days that he will be paid, that will be 300 days plus 2 multiplied with the rate of 400 per day. So that is 400 times 302, 120,800. So 120,800 pesos. For the laborer, so for the laborer, we need 2, and they are paid 250 pesos per day each. And from the problem, it says here 2 laborers will be required with rate of 250 pesos per day, including travel time of pump. So the laborer here is 300 plus 2 days, and the rate here is 250 pesos per day, and there are 2 of them, 2 men. So 302 times 250 times 2. So that is 151,000 pesos. Then we have the freight cost. So freight cost here is 10,000 pesos. Now the question here is, will we multiply it by 2 since it will travel each way. So it says here, the problem says here that freight cost would total 10,000 pesos. So total, it's already the total, meaning it covers the 2 days travel time of the equipment. So 10,000 pesos is already fixed. There's no need to multiply by 2. So freight cost is equal to the total of 10,000 pesos. Then don't forget the power cost that we compute a while ago. Power cost is 179,400. So what's now the total cost here? So 145,000 plus 8,500 plus 120,800, 151,000, 10,000, 179,000. So that is 600. So 145,000 plus 8,500 plus 120,800, 151,000 plus 10,000 plus 179,400. So let's check. 100 times 0.746 times 240. Okay, so this is 179,040. Okay. Again, that is 145,000, 8,500, 120,800, 151, 10,000, 179.04. So the total here is 614,340 pesos. So that's the total cost for pump E. Now how about for pump B? Total cost for pump B. So we need to solve here the number of hours or number of days required in using pump B. So pump B, so required number of hours here is 2,000 hours. So 2,000 hours divided by 8 hours per day. So that is 250. So 250 days. So we can now solve as well the power cost. The power cost here is 100 horsepower multiplied with 0.746, that is kilowatt per 1 horsepower. And then we have here the rate, 1 pesos per kilowatt hour multiplied with the required number of hours, 2,000 hours. So cancel horsepower, cancel kilowatt, cancel hours. So what's left here? Total power cost 746 times 2,000. So 149,200. 149,200 pesos. So the rental cost is fixed 310,000 pesos per year. The maintenance cost is 25,000 pesos per year. The operator is 400 pesos per day. Now it says here, pump B is near the site and does not require freight cost to be paid. Then the 3 laborers will be required with rate of each man of 250 pesos per day. Since there is no travel time here, therefore, the number of days required for these men to work is only 250 days. So there is no additional days. So we have here rental cost, that was 310,000 pesos. Maintenance, so maintenance was 25,000 pesos. The operator will work 250 days at the rate of 400 pesos per day. So that is 100,000 pesos. So only one operator. How about the laborers? Since there are 3 laborers with 250 pesos per day each. So laborer is 250 days. The rate is 250 pesos per day, and there are 3 of them. So 187,500. Then lastly, we have the power cost, which we solved a while ago as 149,200. So the total cost for pump B is equal to 87,500. So 771,700 pesos. So that's the total cost for pump B. And if we are being asked which of the 2 pumps is more economical, so we can say that pump A is more economical. Okay, so this is for problem number 1. And let's go to the problem number 2. A company has a contract to build a sewer in a nearby province. It must dig a ditch 2 meters wide, 1 meter deep, and 2 kilometers long. 8 laborers are available with rate of each man of 250 pesos per day, where they will work for 8 hours each day. 1 man can dig for 2.5 cubic meters per day. A ditch digging machine may be rented at a cost of 6,000 pesos a day for all the time it was in use or in transit. 1 day is required for transporting the machine each way. Freight costs would total 16,000 pesos. The machine operator will be paid 500 pesos a day, including travel time of 2 days of the machine. If the machine is used, 3 laborers will be required with rate of each man of 350 pesos per day, including travel time of machine. The ditch digging machine can excavate 1 cubic meters per 6 minutes. All workers and machine rentals must be paid on a full 8-hour day basis, which is more economical from the 2 alternatives. So here we have 2 alternatives. The first one is manual labor. So this manual labor will require 8 laborers, whereas the second alternative, we will use a machine, a ditch digging machine. So which is more economical from these 2 alternatives? So first, we need to determine what is the required volume. So we have a project here to build a sewer in a nearby province, and the its dimension is 1 meters deep, 2 meters wide, and it's 2 kilometers long. So that's the dimension of the ditch that is to be built, or that is to be dug. So 1 meter deep, 2 meters wide, and then 2 kilometers long. So for the volume, that is equal to 1 times 2 times 2,000, so that is equal to 4,000 cubic meters. So that's the required volume. So for the manual labor, for the first alternative, that is by manual labor, so for the rate, it says here the 8 laborers will be paid 250 pesos per day, where they will work 8 hours each day. So for how long will they dig the required volume? So how many days will they be paid? So number of days to excavate. So let's compute the number of days to excavate first. That is equal to the 4,000 cubic meter requirement multiplied with the capacity. So it says here that the capacity of the men is 2.5 cubic meters. 2.5 cubic meters. So 2.5 cubic meters per day multiplied with 8 men. And then I think that was wrong. It should be in 1 day. That is 2.5 cubic meters. And then 1 man can dig for 2.5 cubic meters per day. So 1 man, that will be 2.5 cubic meters per 8-hour day. So for 8 man, that will be 2.5 cubic meters times 8. So that will be equal to 8 times 2.5. So that will be 20 cubic meters per day. So that is 20 cubic meters per day. So for the 8 man. Therefore, we will put here 20 cubic meters in 1 day for the 8 men. So the 8 men is already included in the solution. So that will be 4,000 divided by 20. So that's equal to 200 days. Because we can now cancel out here the cubic meter. So 200 days to excavate. Therefore, for the total labor cost, because we're just paying for the labor, so for the total labor cost, that will be 200 days to excavate. Then how much is the rate? 250 pesos per day. So 250 pesos per day. So we can now cancel out here days. Then we will multiply it with the total of 8 men. So 200 times 250 times 8. So that is a total of 400,000 pesos. So total labor cost. Now how about by machine? The second alternative is by machine. So the machine has the capacity of, so it says there that the machine has the capacity of 1 cubic meter per 6 minutes. And All workers and machine rentals must be paid on a full 8-hour day basis. So, full 8-hour day basis. So, by machine, says there, 1 cubic, the capacity is 1 cubic meter in 6 minutes. Now, for the number of days to excavate, so that is equal to the required 4,000 cubic meter, and then it's 6 minutes in every 1 cubic meter, so we can cancel out here cubic meter. Then we convert that to days. 6 minutes, so we have here 1 hour in 60 minutes. Cancel minutes. Now how about in 1 day? So in 1 day, that will be 8 hours, not 24 hours. So minutes cancel hours, 8 hours, as stated in the problem. So that is equal to how many days to excavate? 4,000 times 6 divided by 60 times 8. That's 50 days to excavate. Okay. So we now have the number of days to excavate. So what are the costs? So the machine is rented at a cost of 6,000 pesos a day for all the time it was in use or in transit. So meaning we will include the rental cost, the transit, or the number of days that the machine is in transit is included in the rental cost. So how many days that we will use the machine? It says there 50 days. We will use the machine for 50 days plus the transportation. So how many days for transportation? It says here 1 day is required for transporting the machine each way. So from the warehouse to the site, 1 day, and then from the site to the warehouse, that will be another day. So that is a total of 2 days. So rental cost is 6,000 pesos a day. So rental. So rental cost is 50 days plus the 2 days transportation times the rate of 6,000 per day. So that is 312,000 pesos. Next, here is the freight cost, and the total is 16,000 pesos, meaning the 2 days transit has a total cost of 16,000 pesos. There's no need to multiply it by 2 because it mentioned here as total freight cost. That was 16,000 pesos. Next, the operator. The machine operator will be paid 500 pesos a day, including travel time of 2 days of the machine. So the operator is paid 50 plus 2 times 500 per day. So that is 26,000 pesos. Next, if the machine is used, 3 laborers will be required with the rate of 350 per day, including travel time of machine. So the travel time is included, therefore that is laborer equals 50 plus 2, the rate of 350 per day, and there were 3 men. So 52 times 350 times 3. So 54,600 pesos. Okay, so that's the total here. So there's no other item. So we can now get the total cost. So 312,000 plus 16,000 plus 26,000 plus 54,600. That is a total of 408,600 pesos. So from the two alternative, which is more economical? So from the two alternative, the most economical will be the manual labor with the total cost of 400,000 pesos compared to the machine with 408,600 pesos. So that's for problem number 2. Now for the last problem in this video, we have problem number 3. A certain masonry dam requires 150,000 cubic meters of gravel for its construction. The contractor found 2 possible sources for the gravel with the following data. The first one is the Pangasinan province. So average distance from the gravel pit to dam site is 4 kilometers. Purchase price of pit is 780,000 pesos. Overburden to be removed at 4.50 pesos per cubic meter. So there is none for Pangasinan. And then road construction necessity, 400,000 pesos for Pangasinan. Gravel cost per cubic meter at pit, there is none. Hauling cost per cubic meter per kilometer, that is 4.2 pesos. Now for La Union, average distance from gravel pit to dam is 3 kilometers. There is no purchase price of pit. The overburden to be removed at 4.50 pesos per cubic meter is 85,000 cubic meters. Road construction necessity, there is none for La Union. The gravel cost per cubic meter at pit is 15 pesos. Hauling cost per cubic meter per kilometer is 4.20 pesos as well. Which of these two sources is more economical for the contractor? So the contractor is choosing which between these two is more economical when it comes to the sourcing for gravel. So the only solution here is to determine the total cost in choosing the site. So for Pangasinan, so the Pangasinan site, it has the purchase price, that is a fixed price. So purchase price of pit, that is 780,000 pesos. Then for the road construction necessity, that's total of 400,000. Then for the hauling cost, so for hauling, it says there that is 4.2 or 4.20 pesos per cubic meter per kilometer. So that is per cubic meter per kilometer. And we will multiply that with the requirement of 150,000 cubic meter. So it's looking for 150,000 cubic meter. So we can cancel out here cubic meter. How about kilometers? So since we're talking about hauling, so we will consider also the distance of the hole. So the distance there is 4 kilometers. So we can now cancel here kilometers. So 4.20 times 150,000 times 4. So 2,520,000. So 2,520,000 pesos. Total cost for Pangasinan, 780,000 plus 400,000 plus 2,520. So the total cost here is 3,700,000. So this is for Pangasinan site. Now, how about for the La Union site? So for the La Union site, we have the overburden. So the overburden cost is 4.50 pesos per cubic meter. So the overburden cost is 4.50 per cubic meter. And for the overburden for La Union, we have here 85,000 cubic meters. So 85,000 cubic meter. Cancel cubic meter. So that's now 4.5 times 85,000. So that is 382,500. 382,500. Next, we have the gravel cost. So for gravel cost, that is 15 pesos per cubic meter. So it says there gravel cost per cubic meter at pit. So that is 15,000 per cubic meter. And the required number or the required volume here is 150,000 cubic meter. So cancel cubic meter. What's left is 15 times 150,000. So that is 2,250,000. Next is the hauling cost. The hauling cost per cubic meter per kilometer. So that is 4.20 per cubic meter per kilometer. The required here is 150,000 cubic meter, and the distance of hole is 3 kilometers. So cancel cubic meter, cancel kilometers. What's left is 4.2 times 150,000 times 3. So 1,890,000. So 1,890,000 pesos. So for a total of 382,000 plus 2,250,000 plus 1,890,000. So that is 4,522,500. So between the two, Pangasinan and La Union, we see that Pangasinan is more economical. Or let's write here Pangasinan. Therefore, Pangasinan is more economical. So that's for problem number 3. Okay, so that's all for this video.